is actually a perfect example of what we're talking about. Two different variations of the same form.
Exactly.
Showing different strengths.
Kushanku came to Okinawa, and those derivatives of the style are expressed in the kata. So Chat and Yara, the Chat from Yara, version of Kushanku, and Chibana, version of no Kushanku. So Garcia, Chat and Yara, Kushanku. You notice there is a number 008 next to the kata. There are 102 kata on the list in the WKF, and the athlete has to perform the number to make sure that they are not going to fall foul and perform the wrong version, and then would be disqualified.
Everything comes down to these micro movements, making sure that she's dialed on all the different things. So this is what this event is. This next segment is a really athletic one, and one that can really show out how good her kata is. Changes in level and speed, great stuff.
Do you have a favorite kata?
Well, you know, for Shotokai, I'm an Unsu guy, you know.
So
I like the athletic katas, you know, so that's why this matchup is a great one. As you can see, all of our transitions are so explosive.
there are 7 judges, and each will give a score. And they are looking for transition movements. They're looking for the stances. They're looking for the speed and the balance. They're looking to see the rhythm of the kata is correct and correct breathing. Mm-hmm. So there are lots of considerations in making it. You see the line of the heels and the stances.
Big jump here.
And look for the landing.
Very nice.
Very good.
Very nice. That's something I appreciate about kata athletes in general, especially at this level, is their body control and being able to stop themselves in one motion.
And the idea of being able to move really quickly and stop and have total control.
Where everything is
so important,
where every part of their body is throughout each movement is great. And that's what we're going to see. This is going to come down to those little details between these two athletes. Going into our last segment here. And one final jump. And I always love this jump because it's out of this cat stance here. Nice. Very strong kata. Very, very strong kata.
Great determination from the athlete. Keeping and maintaining the focus all the way through from start to finish. Now it's just the formal bow to signal the end of the kata, and then the judges will put in the scores.
Yeah, she set the bar really high, and yeah, you see this little smirk. You know, she's happy with that.
She's happy with her performance.
Yeah, she put it all. Right. She put it all out there, and you know, well, the rest is in Japan's hands here. She's great matchup, though.
Garcia, just 18 years of age, but what a prospect. Taking over from the magnificent Sandra Sanchez, Olympic and double world champion. 6 times continental champion. She's got a tough act to follow, that's for sure, but she's doing a great job. Mishima Kiri of Japan, 24 years of age. Her choice of kata, Chatnyara Kushanku.
Both of these athletes are coming from cultures that are kata heavy, kata strong. And that's why we keep seeing more and more athletes from both countries keep coming up in kata and in medal rounds in these kinds of matches. This beginning part showing just a little bit of a variation. We see a lot of the similar stances coming up. This big pose, she's gonna shoot her arm out here.
Now this is individual kata. The Premier League only has individual kata, but in team kata there are 3 players. And then there is an element of the kata which is referred to as the bunkai, and that's an explanation of each of these moves. And if you aren't familiar with karate and wondering what's going on here, each one of these techniques has a meaning, has a purpose, and has to be performed and executed according to the style, the ruha, the kion.
And Billy, she's looking strong. We're talking about the transition speed and everything. I think one of her strengths is actually how strong she is. She's putting down all of her power. Her feet are hitting the floor. Her body's finishing at one time. Great movements.
And to make it look effortless, and yet it has very strong technique and great speed.
Yeah, and this is a jumping battle between both these athletes. Yeah, both these katas strong with these super athletic movements. But she's showing great change in speed between the different things, and going off of what you said, right? The bunkai, or the application of the moves, is supposed to be with the speed of the moves as well. So
Yes.
it's all applicable, all supposed to be real, true essence of karate.
And that is part of the transition, so that the technique happens at exactly the right time. For example, you couldn't punch then step, you couldn't step then punch.
Right.
It has to be the punch and the step, for example, has to happen at exactly the same time. You see as she plants into the stances. From this jumping back fist strike, she'll do the jumping front kick and then the strike as the foot lands.
Very good.
Which is
finish.
excellent.
Yeah. You can always tell by the kiai, that noise that they make too. They're feeling good, you know.
Yeah.
You see their facial expression just a little bit, you know, stronger and tougher. And
this is a tough one for the judges, because there are 7 of them.
It's two solid katas.
Yeah.
Solid katas. I think both athletes put it all out there. Let's see what the judges think.
And those scores should come up on the graphic at the bottom of the screen. We'll take you through them to see how close it looks for. The top score and the bottom score are taken away and only come back into play if there is a tie break. So let's see how it starts to pan out in just a few moments.
What do you think about this walk for the referee here? Was that always something that was nerve-wracking for you?
Well, it's always important. Here you go, 7-8, 8-4, 8-0, 8-4, 8-2, 8-6. It's looking really, really strong for Mishima, isn't it? You're absolutely right to call that. I think it's going to be a decisive win, and it is indeed. 41-2 against 42-9. And the bronze medal going to Mishima Kiri of Japan.
2 different variations of a very similar kata, and her power, the way she was able to put the power down between the moves was excellent, and she felt it. You could see it, the way she wanted it to perform, the way she wanted to perform, the way she wanted to, you know, demonstrate and show all the moves. She did it, and there, with that smile right there, congratulations to her.
Job well done. And as you mentioned, Cameron, Japan and Spain, both very, very strong nations when it comes to kata. 2 of the strongest, and certainly Japan represents that because they have so many, such strength in depth. And we're going to be seeing more Japanese players in kata. In fact, the next one, the next match will also feature a Japanese athlete. But just a chance to have a look at some of those techniques that were used in that bronze medal winning bout.
You see, even in slow motion, though, you can see her movements stop. She collects her body all at the same time. Big jump. As she sticks to landing, everything stops at one point. Very impressive.
Once again, congratulations, Mishima Kuri.
What was your favorite? Well, what is your favorite?
Shibana Nokusanko.
I love Chatanyara Kushanku. I love Ansu. Gankaku is a fantastic kata also.
Yeah.
Suprempe, and then I have so many katas that I think are wonderful.
Man, this feeling right here, that smile, that never gets old. I think that
we
was the
are
biggest
ready
thing
for
missing
the next
from,
bout.
you know, being an athlete, now being a coach. Obviously still happy, but
Bronze
that
medal
feeling, I
match
miss that.
number
Yeah,
2.
for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Female Kata.
And we're getting ready for our second
number
bronze
2.
medal bout. And this is, again, featuring a Japanese player and Czech Republic.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I got you. Okay. Thanks.
Everybody seems to be ready, so let's meet the competitors. Introducing first, Aka, wearing red, coming from the Czech Republic. Please welcome Veronika Miskova.
Veronika Miskova, you see on the graphic here, she came through the round and the scores are taking her into the quarterfinal and then on to this bronze medal bout.
And introducing now, our wearing blue, coming from Japan. Please welcome Asuma Seiko.
Asuma Seiko, her choice of kata will be Papuren.
Both athletes have been looking strong all weekend, so this is honestly a great matchup.
Aka will defend Shatanyara Kusanku. Ao will perform Papuren.
Veronika Miskova will perform Chatanyara Kushanku. She was active in the Premier League last year, but she didn't take any podium positions. So this is a great achievement already in the season.
Yeah, Veronika, she's stepped up this event. She's been on fire. Keeping the momentum going will be a challenge, but we're here for it. Another Chatanyara variant.
He's been a silver medalist and a bronze medalist in the Karate1 Premier Leagues in the past. And she's 32 years of age, so still very active and ambitious.
Now, building off of the previous two athletes that were out here, we're going to be looking for a lot of speed and collecting herself between the different movements and transitions. Judges are going to be looking for how this first segment is really important for her. The way there's slow moves and fast moves all back to each other. And looking strong through her for the first section of the kata. I love the level changes in this.
That's the magic of the kata, really, is being able to make those fast twists and turns, going from very slow movements to very explosive movements in milliseconds.
And kata is the art of 1,000 reps or 10,000 reps or whatever you want to call it. So she's done each one of these moves so many times for this one performance to put it all together. It's actually truly amazing for all the kata athletes, obviously.
They do.
Yeah.
Practice makes perfect, it's said. are practicing the right thing to make it perfect.
Most definitely.
You have mistakes, and it won't get you too far. Not too many mistakes going on here, if any.
Nope, and she hits the jump. She hits the jump very nice. And a big part of athleticism in general is being able to deliver power and speed and put it through movements in any sport, really. And for this event, it's no different, with hips being a driving force, and she's using all of her twists to execute the moves, especially this last jump. And again, I'm going to reiterate it. Out of a cat stance, to do a jump like that and stick it, it's so difficult, right? It's a one-legged stance, right? And she executed great. Awesome kata.
Excellent. And Chatnyara Kushanku from Veronika Miskova. Azuma Seiko will be following that performance of Miskova with her Papuren kata. A look of a quietly confident coach, do you think?
Yeah, I actually love his facial expressions. That the nod of approval will always give you a little extra, feeling of confidence.
The athlete must come off the mat and wondering, looking at the coach, what do you think? How did I do? You can have your own impression of your performance. But in the famous words of Robbie Burns, the Scottish poet, of all the gifts, the gift to gears is to see ourselves as others see us. And that's, in this case, the judges.
Yes.
How do the judges see you?
I think that plays particularly true for kata, especially. We see the performance, but the internal battle that she's working through right now to put down each move and what she's supposed to focus on for each move is so much, right? And being able to manage all of those things throughout all the different parts of the kata and not carry, how I'm feeling about one move over to the next move, and being able to perform the different things. As you see, she's starting off so strong, so snappy throughout all of these moves.
And the fascinating thing here is that what's the psychology? I mean, you're a psychologist. This is part of your work. I know.
Yeah.
But it's what's going on in the mind. Are they concentrating on the moves only? Are they thinking about how it's being received? There's so much going on in their heads, as well as on the tatami with their technique, isn't there?
Yeah. And I mean, a lot of times especially for performance sports, right? In this case, kata is you're performing something or a set routine. A lot of people think you go blank, right? Your mind just goes totally blank. But in reality, the successful athletes are the ones that can flow off of what they're supposed to perform throughout the whole kata, because it's a story, right? You explained it so well, and how each thing is supposed to perform a specific task, and there's an element of purpose to every move. So being able to flow throughout that and not get caught up in the entendre, if you will, of the whole thing is one of the biggest challenges, and being able to perform each move as its own, the way it's supposed to be. And I love that kick. I love that kick. So controlled throughout everything. And yeah, she's doing a great performance so far.
And that kick you referred to is a maigeri, a front kick in karate. And there are lots of different kicks: roundhouse kicks, back kicks, jumping kicks. And there's strikes and punches. And all of these techniques are evident in the performance of kata. That's what makes it such an important part of the martial art, isn't it?
This is, I think, I'm speaking biasly, but karate in true form, right? It's like the purest essence is kata, right? one of the first things you learn is how to do the stances or the moves or the blocks or the punches, and that's what builds into all the different things. And this is it performing at its highest level.
You talk about the moves and the blocks and the stances, and so you could refer to those as are the words of a language. The kata are the sentences.
Yeah, wow, yeah.
Where all those words come together and they
Correct,
kumite, the sparring, the fighting, that's when you are fluent and can express and react to what you hear and what you see.
Yeah, yeah. That was a great poppy there. Right? And you can see it, the crowd is visibly showing their appreciation for that kata.
And there's a look of a coach now that seems satisfied.
That's the
and anticipation of a good result.
I'm looking for the nod.
Let's have a look at these scores as they come up. That beep that you heard was the judges have input their scores. And to the left of the judges, you will see the chairman of the referee commission for the World Karate Federation, Mr. Javier Escalante. And here we go, 7-8, 8-4, 8-0, 8-5, 8-1, 8-6. Another big score for Japan. 8-2, 8-7, 8-2, 8-8, 8-2, 8-8. Wow, 8-4, 8-8. 43-4, a huge win. A huge win for Azuma Seiko.
This is not indicative of a bad performance by the Czech athlete by any means. Azuma just performed that well. She put it down. This was a great event, and I'm looking over the coach. I got the nod. We got the nod. We got the smile. Congratulations to her. Another big win for Japan. There we go. That's awesome, man. There's always a big feeling of relief after you finish the competition, whether it's a loss or a win, right? Obviously, that relief comes in a little bit bigger for the win.
Yeah, we just saw two young toddlers in the audience there. That's the future.
That's our future, right there.
Of karate.
Azuma Seiko.
Very precise folds for the technique, aren't they?
And that's something that separates the good kata athletes from the great, right? You're watching slow motion video of her, and you can still feel the power. You can still feel how she's working through each movement and how locked in she is. Yeah, that's awesome. I'm such a kata aficionado, but couldn't do it. You know? Great start to the day. Absolutely
Superb.
Great start to the day.
Very, very good. So as we move away now from the bronze medal bouts, they're the two of the bronze medal winners, and this one being Azuma Seiko. We're now moving on to the gold medal bouts. Once more, we have Japan well placed. And Japan is going to be represented here with Onomahu, 25 years of age. Onomahu, World Games silver medalist. And as you see the gold embroidery on her shoulders, that signifies that she is indeed the grand winner from last season. She's had 3 firsts, a silver and 7 bronze medals. She was first in Casablanca, first in Paris, on her way to winning the grand winner prize. This athlete from Hong Kong, China, Lao Mu Xiong Grace, 33 years of age, Olympic bronze medalist, a World Games bronze medalist. She was first in Antalya, 3 times she was third last season in Paris, Antalya and Casablanca.
It's the finals.
It is.
It's the finals. We got people with the best scores coming up, and this is
first,
to bring it all together.
wearing red, coming from Japan, number 2 of the world ranking, gold medal in Paris and Casablanca last year, silver medal at the last Asian Championships. She's the current 24 grand winner.
Been great. She's been on fire.
Onomahu. her choice of kata, Chibana no Kushaku.
And her opposition today, red and blue, coming from Hong Kong, China. #1 of the world ranking, bronze medal in Paris 24, gold medal in Antalya last year. She's the current Asian champion and the current silver medalist of the World Championship 23. Please welcome
Lamotion Grace, tremendous athlete, she's so consistent.
Mesdames et messieurs, ladies and gentlemen, the female kata gold medal match is ready.
Wow, both of them are so focused. I just
You
got
can
the
see
chills.
that, can't you?
Yeah. For the karate or even kata Hall of Fame, both of these athletes are well deserving of spots there.
Oromahu will be the first to take the mat. Chibana no Kushanku will be the choice of kata, as Lamotion Grace moves away from the mat. She'll be standing to the side. And sometimes the athletes watch the performance. Often they don't
Yeah.
watch the performance of the opposition, do they?
Well, that's one of the best things about kata is it's your performance, right? It's not necessary. Obviously, you know, you want to put your attention on what the other person might do for strategy, right? To come up with what your kata is, but it comes down to you. It's you, and you're presenting something for the judges, and that's what the energy wants to go towards. That's what we need it for. Another Kushanku variant. Strong start.
And each one of these stances has a specific name, and the foot position has to be precise. Niko Ashidachi, the cat stance that you referred to before. Senkutsudachi, the long forward stance.
And I mean, just like a story that we've been talking about, kata has different parts that everybody's looking for. Obviously, the technique is one, the power is two, the speed, but then the energy around what you're trying to do. Are these techniques actually applicable, right? Like, if you were to get hit by one of these elbows, would you feel it? And I mean, obviously, she's putting it down so well. But it's going to be those
Great
minuscule changes.
shikodachi. Great shikodachi there. Yeah, but you're absolutely right. It's trying to get all of these movements to work at the right time with the right energy, the right precision. Another fantastic performance from the Japanese athletes. There's 3 we've seen now.
Yes.
2 in the bronze medal bout, both being successful. And we have another fantastic performance.
And that jump was the best one I've seen today, because it almost looks like she was floating in the air. She paused in the air.
She hung there for a while,
right,
didn't
yeah. Live, I feel like I just paused it for a second, then pressed play after that. That was so impressive. She's really emphasizing each one of these moves, showing all of her strengths, that she has the technique so dialed in. Foot position, everything is so on the money right now. Last segment of the kata, going back into that back stance. Huge jump coming out of there too.
That has to be the technique that everybody is looking forward to. It's the end of the
Right,
kata.
right. And what the energy of the athlete is at the end of the kata. What are they feeling? What emotions are they expressing? How are they putting they're feeling themselves into the kata? So great.
How's that rhythm being consistent throughout?
Yeah, yeah. The was a good
Lao
one.
Mu Xiong Grace now to take the tatami. Fantastic athlete from Hong Kong, China.
Grace is no stranger to these moments.
Papuren is the choice of kata for Lao Mu Xiong Grace.
Getting cheered on by her husband and fellow U.S. athlete Ariel there. He's going to be competing later in another bronze medal.
You often find in karate families, and your family is no different. Both mother and father, fantastic karateka, world referees, top sensei.
Yeah, I'm a dojo baby. You could call it that. You know. But Grace going in, I love her papurin.
And that looks very simple move, but
Yeah, but
on a soft mat,
man.
maintaining balance is so difficult.
But also, the thing that she does so well is even with those slow moves, she starts it fast, slows down throughout the middle, and at the very end, her whole body collects. So changing speed just within one slow move, right here, you can see it again. Boom, you see her core tightening. Everything is so strong, so stable. It's amazing to watch. And you see her whole body is twisting and working into each one of the movements to generate as much possible force.
And right in the background is
Yep,
your
there
mother.
you go. Yeah, so
Maria Medali.
talk about the family. Yeah, on screen, yep.
Superb.
That was
Excellent.
great.
Really excellent.
That was great. You could call her Great Grace. There you go. Another change in level here for this next move. Right in front of the judges, too. Wow, yeah. Stuck that there.
You can see the red rectangle, which is used for the kumite. In kata, it's not so important. So they can move off that red area. It's not a foul.
And that's one of the things that, for the psychology side of it, for kata athletes, they want to take up the whole room. They want to feel like the whole room is theirs, and you know they're bringing all eyes on them, and that's how good their performance is. That's how much energy they're putting out into the whole space.
There's an example of a very slow, controlled movement into quick, explosive technique.
Her changes in speed, so good, so good. In this part, a lot of athletes in this part is a lot of slow moves all working together, and then a fast. They rush, but she just hits every single one. See all those big hand motions, but she's using her whole body, demonstrating everything into one movement.
So quick.
Yeah, wow. Wow. Balance here. And the pressure right there, right in front of the judges. Everybody's watching, and she kills it. She kills it. Oh,
Very impressive.
wow. Very solid performance.
And again, that balanced position toward the end of the kata, salutation.
You just feel the tension in her body on each move. Yep. Very, very tough decision for the judges on this one. Man.
It is. It's going to be interesting to see how these scores pan out. I can't imagine there's going to be a big gap between
No,
them.
this is going to be a close one. This is going to be a really close one. Crowd was a little louder for Grace there. I mean, both athletes, you can see it. You know, they're right on the edge.
Let's have a look at the scores
move.
on the graphic. 8-5,
Right.
8-2, 8-8, 8-3. Big difference.
Yep.
8-8, 8-5, getting closer. 8-8, 8-6.
Wow.
9, 8-7. 9, 8-8. 9-1, 9-5.
All right.
Look, a big score again, 44-4 against 44-2.
Big score, wow. Close to a 45. I mean, how often do you see it? It's not common at all. Again.
Congratulations to both
Fabulous
of you. Very
performances
well
from
done.
both of the
Wow.
athletes.
Honestly,
Ono
great
Maho, the
performance by both
current
of them.
Female Kata Grand winner.
And you can just see how much this one
She's
means to
at
her,
the
man.
top once
Wow.
again. Ono Maho, our first gold medal here
Yeah.
in Paris. Congratulations.
She was gold in Paris last year. She's gold again here in Paris.
Yeah.
The 2024
Grand winner.
Grand winner is back
Demonstrating
on
why
track.
she is the grand winner.
Gold medal again for her.
You know, and winning an event is always an event, for lack of a better word, right? But being able to win this Premier League, Paris is always a very special destination for all athletes. And being able to do it two
So as you can
times
see,
in a
we are
row,
getting ready for
year to
some
year, that means what you're
committed
doing as an
action.
athlete is right. That means that all the work and everything that she's put into is paying off.
Let
You see it
us
with
remind you that
these
this is
clips
the
of her now.
first stop of an amazing and thrilling season. After Paris, we'll be
Wow.
heading to Hangzhou in March.
Great katas.
We'll be heading
A great display
to
of kata
Cairo,
for the
and we'll be
first
heading
Premier League of the
to
season.
Rabat for the
And to think that
last
things are only going to get better
Premier
from
League
here.
of an amazing season. And please do remember, we are on the way
Man, she
to
just like
the
stops
Cairo
in the air there for a
25
split second.
World
That's
Championship.
so
So
impressive.
this is very important competition in order to get points. We are on the road to Cairo 25.
Esteban Perez.
Okay, so we are ready now for
Chairman of
some
the
committed
organising
action.
committee.
Let's